Once again, the main story that we're going to be diving into today is this low pressure system that continues to move across the Pacific Northwest. So I really want to dive into the California forecast, see how much rain is still to come, how long that rain is going to be sticking around, and then also take a look at the snowfall totals in the Sierras. Now before I do that though, I want to take a broad look at what's going on across the country, and I think the current hazards map just perfectly explains what's going on. We've got that storm system still moving through Washington, Oregon, and California. That's why we have a winter weather advisory in the Sierras. Also some extreme winds building in, along with possibly another foot or more of snow in some places. In the middle of the country, there's a huge ridge that I'm going to show in a second, and that's actually creating some fire danger. We got a red flag warning because it's going to be windy, it's pretty dry, and the temperatures, as I'll show in a second, in some places are 20 to 30 degrees above average. And it's a really different story on the eastern half of the country, where temperatures are actually 10 to 15 degrees below average. So we'll take a look at that in a second, but first I want to look at the jet stream, because I always think this perfectly shows what's going on. You can see that trough over Washington, Oregon, and California. That's what's allowing that rain and snow to continue to fall in those areas. And then in the middle of the country, you can see that massive ridge just right over Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska area, which is going to be moving east across the rest of the country over the next couple days. Now, it's interesting to look at Friday and Saturday. As you can see, jet stream is basically just going to flatten out across the country. I'm expecting Friday and Saturday to be about as boring as you're ever going to see the weather in the United States. I don't think there's really going to be anything going on, at least until late Sunday into Monday, as we start to see another little trough build into the Midwest. That'll probably be what we're talking about at the start of next week. I did mention that huge ridge over the center of the country though, creating well above average temperatures, and you can see that. We got 25, 30 degrees above average, while the East Coast is about 10 to 15 degrees below average. And it seems like that's going to be the trend over the next couple of days. And looking into Friday and then the weekend, you can actually see a clear separation. The Pacific Northwest actually drops below average. From Southern California to New York, though, we have this strip of above average temperatures. And then down in the southeast, we're below average as well, just slightly. So that's what's going on temperature-wise. But I'm really excited about what's going on with the precipitation, because really the only action right now is on the west coast. So I'm loving that my top story for this entire week has been basically what's going on in Washington, Oregon, and California. And you can see that if we just quickly click through the precipitation map, really not anything happening except for what's going on in the Pacific Northwest. Continuing to pick up some snow there for the next couple of days, but the majority of this storm is going to be done by the end of today, as I'll show in a second, maybe pushing into Thursday a little bit. And then, like I said, Friday pushing into Saturday, it's going to get pretty boring across the U.S. Might be getting a little bit of rain in the center of the country, but not much going on till that trough starts to come in Sunday and Monday into the Midwest. So that's what's going on precipitation-wise, and we can actually see what's going on the West Coast, Washington, Oregon, and Northern California, still picking up some rain. I was awake when that heavy rain pushed through the Santa Cruz Mountains. I would guess that we picked up maybe a half inch just this morning. There were some periods where it was actually coming down pretty hard, and if you want to see a video of what that actually looked like, you can check out my Twitter page. And right now, looking out the window, it's still sprinkling in the area, but definitely not as hard as it was raining this morning. But you can see there is still some heavy rain building into parts of Washington and Oregon, and then especially Northern California, which seems to be the story for the next few hours at least. So I want to show the wide view of California, what's going on precipitation-wise, just to show how far south it's actually going to be still coming in throughout the next couple of hours. Santa Barbara could still be picking up some rain, but the majority of the action is in Northern California, so that's really the place that I want to dive in the most. You can see at 4 a.m. this morning, we were seeing some select areas that were picking up some heavy rain, heavy snow in the Sierras, and then you can see that right where I am in the Santa Cruz Mountains actually was picking up some good rain this morning. As we move throughout later today, though, you're going to see that heavier rain start to just push north and into the Sierras, really clears out for most of the Bay Area by this afternoon. You can see at 10 a.m. though, parts of Napa and Sonoma area still picking up some pretty heavy rainfall, and we might actually even get some thunderstorms up farther into northern California. You can see in the Sierras though, still picking up some good snow at about 10 a.m. this morning. As we move to about 4 p.m., you can see what I was just talking about and how the Bay Area is going to start to clear up, might actually be transitioning into some sunny skies as we push into Thursday and Friday. And then the very northern parts of the state still pick up some rain, still picking up some good rain and snow in the Sierras. And then you can see that trend just continue as we move into tonight. Really the only spots we're going to still be getting rain and snow are in the very northern parts of the state and the Sierras. Bay Area should be clear by tonight. And then let's just click through, see when this rain is just going to be officially gone. By early tomorrow morning, it looks like all of California is going to be cleared up, and then that should be continuing for as far as I would really trust the forecast. Moving into Saturday, Sunday, even Monday, not really any other precipitation in the forecast for Northern California. So, looking at how much rain we still have to pick up, I just want to show the wide view again to show that there's going to be some light rain going all the way down into Southern California, maybe getting a few tenths of an inch, but like I said, most of the action up into Northern California, so that's where I want to focus once again. You can see as of this morning, maybe picked up about half an inch in the Santa Cruz Mountains, like I was saying, picked up some more rain and snow, especially in Northern California. But as we move through, let's just click all the way through Thursday to see what's still to come. You can see North Bay and South Bay. It's going to be light rain throughout the day today. I'm expecting lighter than yesterday. And it's actually funny, as I'm saying that, it just started pouring again in the Santa Cruz Mountains. So maybe there is still a little bit of heavy rain to come, but for the most part throughout the day today, I'm expecting lighter rain around the Bay Area than we saw yesterday, where we still might get some good precipitation though, like I was saying, where we showed that heavy rainfall rate coming in at maybe 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. today in Napa and Sonoma, and then again, northern parts of the state and Sierras picking up still maybe an inch or an inch and a half of rain in the really select areas where we could be getting the most. Now, when it comes to the snowfall forecast, this is what I'm pretty excited to show because we're actually still going to be getting some good snow today. We got maybe a foot, possibly more than a foot in some select spots yesterday, and you can see that there are some areas where we're still going to be picking up maybe 12 to 18 inches of snow throughout the Sierras and Northern California. So that's pretty good to see. I'm not exactly sure if ski resorts are open, but if they are, there's probably going to be some pretty decent skiing and snowboarding set up for this weekend, as that snow can stick around as temperatures in that area are looking pretty cool, which I'll show in a second. But first, I do want to mention the wind gusts because I believe this is actually the part of the forecast that is the most concerning with the system. For the most part, the rain and snow that we're getting is just going to be nice, except maybe in some of the burn scars where mudslides can be a bit of an issue. But for the most part, I'd say the only thing I'm really concerned about with this storm system is the extreme winds. As you can see, early this morning, still getting some gusts in the Sierras over 50 miles an hour. I was looking at some observations from yesterday. There were some weather stations showing that they picked up 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts in some areas around the Sierras. So those winds definitely did not disappoint, actually overperformed from what the models were showing. And you can see some of those extreme winds will be sticking around throughout the day today. As we push into later this morning, you can see that Winds still going to be gusting in the Sierras 40 to 50 miles an hour, still sticking around throughout this afternoon. And then let's just move through, see when the winds will actually start to calm down. Looks like it's going to be early Thursday morning. Going to calm down throughout most of California as that storm system continues to push through. So if we look at the high temperatures, you can see that Sierra's still showing below the freezing point. That's what's allowing over a foot of snow to continue to fall in that region. And then throughout the Bay Area and the Valley, highs today should be in the high 50s to low 60s in most places. If we look at the high for tomorrow, it's going to be a similar story. Sierra's still in that freezing category, whereas Bay Area and the Valley, high 50s, low 60s. Let's just look at what's going on Friday. Maybe a little bit of a warm-up, but for the most part, again, similar story, just in the high 50s, not really much going on temperature-wise. Seems like it's basically staying the same over the next few days. Let's just quickly look at Saturday, see what we could be expecting for the weekend. We're going to be in the 50s again, not really much changing in the temperature forecast, but it should be sunny, so that should at least be nice as we go into the weekend. So I found a few graphics that basically just summarize the forecast. If you don't remember anything I said over the last few minutes, the next minute or two should basically sum up what's going on. One, we've got that winter storm warning in the Sierras, still picking up maybe 12 to 18 inches of snow. And then we also have some extreme wind gusts. You can see still going to be getting maybe 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts throughout the day today. Like I said, yesterday, 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts in some places. So that's what's going on in the Sierras, still picking up some snow. Throughout the rest of California, we're still going to be picking up some rain, picking up maybe another half inch in the very northern parts of the state throughout the day today. Possibly already picked up another half inch throughout maybe the Redding area, Chico area, and the Santa Cruz Mountains, as I can attest to. And then, like I said, there's actually the possibility for some thunderstorms in Northern California from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Could include some lightning and some small hail, so if you live in those areas, keep an eye out for that. If anything, it might just be a little bit exciting. So that's what's going on in the California forecast. If I had to sum it up, still some rain to come. Should be ending later today for most parts of the state, and then still picking up maybe 12 to 18 inches of snow in the Sierras. So even though we might not have that much going on in the weather forecast over the next few days, I will continue to make these videos, so stay tuned if you're interested in that. Thanks for watching.